But one of the things that I loved about what you've done, at least, and maybe this was early on, and again, because you've now gotten to a certain place in your career,
Right.
you did talk to artists that you love. I mean,
Right.
you said it on the Sway interview, you've said it on other interviews. You know, the impetus of what you did is you spoke to artists that you loved because it was, you didn't feel like they were getting the shine that you felt like, and it was because you fucking love these artists.
Right.
And it just, again, listen, it's with everything else. You get to a point, there's money to be made, there's a family to take care of, a beautiful daughter now, so it becomes a job, right?
Right.
But my hope for you is that you never lose the passion of listening to the music.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the beautiful part about why you and I are sitting here.
Right.
Like, I'm going to jump in my car. My man Keen Streets just sent me like 3 new joints that he did with Jim. Like, I can't fucking wait to hear them shits. Bobby J from Rockaway just dropped Montauk. I can't wait to hear that shit. Blanc Lafina just dropped some hot shit. Like, I love, and I'm not involved with any of these artists. Like, they're not being distributed by me. I'm just a fucking fan. Like, I
Right.
love music. And, whether we distribute them or not, or whether we work with them or not is irrelevant. OT The Real put out a fucking crazy ass album. Like, I'm just a fan of the music. And if I get a chance to interview people, it's obviously still based on fandom, but it's just a different balance for me, I guess, at this point in my life. It's like, I don't do what I do for Serch Says and that because I'm trying to create an interview or trying to create, I can still listen to shit, just be a fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And also being able to tell stories is about like getting to know the artist through their music, right? Because they're being their most vulnerable in telling their stories through their music when you first get to know them.
One thing I find interesting is that I very much got into doing podcasts because I wanted to have conversations with rappers about their lives. And sometimes when I listen to rappers' music, it'll just really stand out to me that I could listen to like a rapper's whole project and feel like I have learned absolutely nothing about their life.
Right, because the imagination of what they want to aspire to versus where they come from, the dichotomy is wide as a football field. Yeah.
Right, or even especially like if you know basically like what circumstances they're coming from, it's like,
Right.
And sometimes I could listen to a whole rapper's interview and really feel like I haven't learned anything, or even do an interview and like really actually try to make the person interesting. And it's just like sometimes the ability to make popular music is like completely separated from the ability to be an actual engaging public figure.
Right. My wife will give me a pep talk before I go into every interview. And she'll say, be honest, be open, and listen.
Right.
So the question I want to ask you, obviously, because you started this before you got married, does your wife give you any advice before you go into interviews today?
Technically, I'm engaged, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. No, because I mean, to be honest, a lot of weeks I'll be doing like 9 fucking interviews for like an hour or 2 each.
Right.
So it's like, if anything, in my head, I try to not talk about it before I'm doing it. I try to like minimize, I have to be prepared, but I also try to like minimize the intensity. Because, originally when I'd be going in to do an interview, I'd be feeling like a fucking boxer. Like I'm like preparing for this battle of words that I need to like hype myself up for. And I think that like over time, I've realized that the more relaxed with it I am, the better that it can ultimately be. And
because like, were you surprised when Kurupt came at you the way he came at you? Because the question was a very, I thought, well, I wouldn't say benign, but it wasn't, as you framed it, spicy. It was not a spicy question. And his analogy of how he heard it versus the Tupac.
Right.
Were you shocked by that?
I kind of like had seen enough Kurupt interviews to realize that he kind of likes to do this thing where he just like lets loose on the interviewer a little bit.
Gotcha.
Like he did it to Vlad talking about that Kendrick bar.
Right.
He did it to Charlemagne talking about, it's slipping my mind. But he always will do this thing in interviews where he gets sort of like intense and just sort of like mans up on the interviewer real quick.
And then falls back.
Yeah, and like always, it's then pretty clear that like, but it's weird because it doesn't feel fake. It actually
it's
feels like
definitely not fake.
impassioned.
Dude, I'll tell you a funny story.
But like with that one in particular,
Yes.
it was super obvious that he was like trying to get me to take the bait, and within moments, it was like
Diffused.
he was just laughing. And
Right.
he was like, it was obvious that like, why would we possibly be actually arguing over like which rapper is the most important? It's like a very silly thing. But then also, we edited it for the TikTok or the Instagram reel or whatever. And like, we cut the Instagram clip and titled it to make it seem like he was actually mad. And we sort of like removed the context in the TikTok and everything. So it is kind of funny having so many people act to me as if it was like a really intense conflict, when if you actually watch it in the thing, it's
No.
benign,
That was yeah. I'll tell you a funny story. I've actually never told anyone. I had a business partner who worked with Donald Trump. Real estate.
Jeffrey Epstein.
No.
Okay.
Thanks for connecting the Jews, though. No connection to the Jews, by the way. Sorry, Jewish New Yorkers.
Right.
Keep it moving.
Just a guess.
That's fine. But well played. So he said that when he would go into meetings with Trump, no matter what the meeting was, the table would be set, the conference table, and John Doe was across the table. Trump would come in. And the first thing Trump would come in is slam his hand on the table as loud as he could and say, "This deal is bullshit. I don't give a fuck about this deal. This deal is bullshit. And when I come back, this thing better be fucking fixed." And he just stormed out and slammed the door
Trump would do this all the time.
all the time. And then come back in and go, "Hey, how are you, Donald Trump? Let's the craziest, most psychotic shit you've ever, he said it was the most psychotic shit he ever witnessed. And this guy became our fucking president.
Wow.
Like, can you imagine, like, if I walked into this interview and the first thing I said to you, never meeting you before, is, "You better fuck," and I'm going to come back and you bet, you'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with that asshole?" Like, in fact, Laura, walk him out. Like, I don't even want to fucking do the interview,
Right.
And the other thing I wanted to share with you.
But those people are coming to Trump like he's a fucking king, benefactor who can make their wildest dreams come true. So he's very much in the position to do that.
And there's a fucking Florida fucking war chest for Governor DeSantis of $140 million that these fucking Trump fanatics are fucking funding. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, crazy. So the other thing I wanted to just tell you is I had a little fun based on this TikTok thing recently with Fat Joe. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. I'm not on TikTok like that. I think I got like 200 followers. Like, something stupid. But I like TikTok because honestly, the reason I watch TikTok is for hip hop shit, A. B is I like woodworking. And I love these fucking tables with the resin. Like, I'm trying to buy every fucking table because my wife and I are building a house in Florida. So I'm looking for like furniture and shit like that. And then the other reason is Broadcast Boys. I fucking love those dudes. Like, I don't know if you're up on the Broadcast Boys.
What's up?
Fucking Lucas and Deuce Deuce. Yo, those two dudes are the funniest fucking two guys on TikTok. Funniest two dudes. Like, Lucas will do shit on like the fucking Playboy life of 50 Cent, the fucking criminal life of this one. It's funny as fuck. And then Deuce does shit on sports.
Okay.
Like the draft of 2007, where are they now? Or my favorite one most recently is regular motherfuckers who look like Jay-Z. He's like, "Oh, and here's the broke Jay-Z trying to fucking thirst trap some bitch on a beach." And here's those two dudes are hysterical. So I would suggest get up on them. So I did this thing with the split screen. Yesterday's price is not today's price. And I'm like this. I'm like, so is yesterday's price today's price? And it's yesterday's price is not today's price. So is yesterday's price today's price? It blows up on my TikTok. I get like, whatever amount. And I'm looking through the fucking people who are checking. And of all the things I see is this white guy who says, Another white guy who's confused by the fact that a brother is trying to set the fucking tone for economy, you fucking ignorant devil. And I'm like, but you're white and you don't know that I know Fat Joe and you don't know this is a joke. So thanks for visiting. But the point I'm trying to make in all of that is, bro, is the obscenity, and it's truly obscenity, that people, like I said, the spiciness of the interview, they're seeing things in bite-sized scenarios and taking it to mean, you know, like you took the line from Jay-Z thinking that I own Nas's publishing. Just not true.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's how people consume information these days. Like we do the thing that you're used to the media doing to you. You know, where if like you said something in an interview and there was a way to twist it and make it, oh, Serch is a racist, Serch is an asshole, whatever, the media would gladly do that to you at some point.
They did that to me on Clubhouse. Fucking Van Lathan fucking
What'd you
did that.
say?
And it wasn't what I said. Is I went into a room on Clubhouse that Van was hosting with Mouse Jones, and they were talking about something, and they asked me about my opinion. And I come from a place where I was raised and how I was brought up, regardless if I was, you know, a Jewish kid. The kids I grew up with, I recognized and saw that they believed, and I believed in what they believed, that black man is God on the planet Earth. Because I grew up with a lot of my friends, like my closest friends, bro, were from Redfern projects whose names were government names and became Lord Jamal Law, Understanding Mathematics, you know, B.I. Self. And like, I would troop with them from Redfern to Mecca on 125th Street. So, and in my conversation in this room, I said, and in the same way, I understand that white people are visitors in hip hop, I also feel it's important for me to share that what we're doing on television with like Love and Hip Hop and Love and Hip Hop Miami is a fucking travesty to the culture. And these men and women, oh no. See, you, white man, you don't have the right.
You can't talk about Love and Hip Hop.
You can't talk
Off limits.
you can't talk about black people on television. You don't have the right. And this dude, Mouse Jones, was, every time I tried to say something, he was like, your voice is getting a little husky, homie. You might want to relax. And I'm like, you don't even know me, first of all. And we're getting bullied on Clubhouse. And I was trying to simply hear the conversation. And I understand that the temperament is very sensitive in the marketplace.
Right.
And when I say marketplace, I mean the world. Like, I'm not talking about hip hop as a, you know, I'm talking about with everything that's going on.
Right.
And the attitude was I became the white punching bag. And at one point, somebody said to me, I need to know how official Serch is. Serch, is Gold Fronts hip hop, yes or no? And I said no. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to give my spot up for somebody else. So thank you for having me in here.
Right.
And I bounced. And I found out later through friends of mine that, you know, they were having side conversations like, why is Serch allowing himself to be fucking tagged like this? And like, fuck these dudes. And, and it's very simple why I just stayed there. Because I feel like I'm the only one in a lot of times in these rooms that can handle the conversation.
Right.
Without losing my temper, without taking it personally.
Yeah.
Because I understand where it comes from. I understand where the frustration comes from. But I also understand that I'm entitled to my opinion because I'm a human being, first and foremost. And I was very much a part of the growth of this culture. I might not have been so deep that I built, because that would be crazy, but I was a part of, you know, an early iteration of what the culture became. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I have an opinion. And the next day I hit Van Lathan and I'm like, yo, I appreciate you having me in the room. And he hit me back. He goes, Serch, he goes, you got to just understand, man, like, we are scared. We're scared about what's going on. We're fearful of our lives. And I get it, man. I get it. You know, I've had situations with my children who are multicultural where, you know, cops pulled guns on them in fucking gated communities. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I can't relate to it because I'm a white man. I got pulled over coming here. I didn't get shot. You know, nothing bad happened to me. But easily it could have been fucking something else if I was black. You know, so I get it. But at the same time, I'm not going to let somebody shit on me just because I'm the punching bag in a room.
Attack the content of the ideas, not the person. You
Right.
know, if you want to have an intelligent debate. And I mean, to be honest, I feel very comfortable saying that I think that there's very much a debate to be had about the validity of love and hip hop and how it sometimes like unfairly frames their participants. I've had people say that to me because I've, you know, watched a little bit of it. But I've had people ask me like, do you think that like it's actually like good for the black community, love and hip hop? And I'm not really willing to go with one way or another because I feel like it's so beloved by people that it obviously just satisfies some itch that people just want scratched.
Yeah, but you know what I think about Mona Scott, who's the executive producer, and I think about, man, what would Chris Lighty say if he was alive? May he rest in peace. Because, you know, I don't know how Chris would feel about it. You know, Chris and I go back to when he was carrying crates for Red Alert in his white Maxima. Like Chris and I would troop down I-95 to see his dad, who was a cop in Baltimore.
Right.
You know, like, I was family. It wasn't even the guy I knew in the industry. Like, he was family, you know? And his death hit me hard. Like, it hit me hard. And I just wonder if even Mona Scott and Chris would be partners, if that was the route she went. Or, I don't know. I don't have the answer.
But the thing about love and hip hop is that all the things that you hate about it are basically what makes it a popular TV show.
Of course, it's a soap opera.
We wouldn't even be talking about it if it was tame and tasteful.
No.
And if people got to, you know, fairly promote their music
it's the
career.
same reason people loved the White Rapper Show.
Oh man, you knew I was going to bring that up, huh?
You know what I'm saying? It's the same. No, I didn't know, but I mean, it's the same people.
I got to pee real quick, but then let's definitely
Fuck
talk about
you.
that. Yeah,
Let me tell you, fuck you. I'm leaving. I'm fucking leaving. Listen, you don't fucking walk out of here on me, pal.